We are back, and my apologies, ladies and gentlemen, for missing yesterday's daily cryptocurrency market update. Usually every single day around 1 p.m. UK time, we like to drop an update just like this one to help you guys stay up to date with the latest and greatest things happening within the crypto space, but also the broader markets. And that is exactly what we intend to do in this video. We're going to be catching up on a little bit of news that took place yesterday. Of course, we've got some pretty substantial news literally breaking today in regards to the European Central Bank. Don't worry, we will relate this all to the cryptocurrency space and explain what actions taking place in markets further afield or outside of the cryptocurrency space, what those actions may actually do or the effect those actions may actually have on the cryptocurrency market. So we have a hell of a lot to get into. I hope you guys missed me as much as I missed you guys not presenting a daily market update yesterday. Without further ado, let's get into it. And we are going to be starting the video off with a clip of Donald Trump, and he has quite a lot to say and has been saying quite a lot recently in regards to the cryptocurrency space. I am under no illusion that this is a political stunt, if you will. It's not just Donald Trump that is performing this, so don't hold that against him. It is all of them. You even see Robert Kennedy buying GameStop, acting like he's really with the people, and that's why he's buying GameStop. And I have done a video on Roaring Kitty. I'm sure some of you are familiar with who that is. The guy that kind of initiated the whole short squeeze and the whole GameStop and AMC movement. And the fact that he's very likely an agent of sorts for some people. It's interesting how he came about. And actually we're now getting filings because lots of people have to file that they had actually bought GameStop recently in preparation for him to make his return and pump the stock once more. So we're going to be diving into Trump. Leave your biases at the door, whether you like the guy, whether you don't. I personally think, stands a very good chance of winning the election this year. And the fact that he likes crypto is a good sign, certainly for crypto investors. And that's as far as we're going with it. We're not getting into the politics and his politics versus other people's politics. It's largely irrelevant to me. What is relevant is his take on the cryptocurrency space for a cryptocurrency channel. And also, he did something that, or has vowed to do something that appeals to me, and that is to commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht. He's served, I think, 11 years already. Actually, Ross and Silk Road was how I originally sort of heard about Bitcoin. I think it played an important, perhaps, role, although people don't like to talk about it, in regards to the practical use of Bitcoin, it being facilitated as an internet money. Probably a image or a kind of tarnishing that still remains with us due to the nature of what actually took place on Silk Road. But should he even have been given a life sentence, that's an entirely different debate. But he's really going out and kind of reaching out to the crypto masses. But let's play this clip of what he had to say over the weekend, and then we'll dive into the rest of the video. We've got some really interesting things in regards to the sort of macroeconomic environment, what's about to take place, and then I'm actually going to be looking at top 10 crypto index products already offered by the same people that offer Bitcoin and now are going to be offering Ethereum spot ETFs. We're going to be taking a technical look, and they look very bullish. It kind of compounds this bullish picture that will be reaffirming when we look at the kind of macro context in regards to what the ECB loan rates might mean. We'll bring Stack Druckenmiller in. As always, guys, a lot to get into. Let's dive into this clip of Trump.
I will ensure that the future of crypto and the future of Bitcoin will be made in the USA, not driven overseas. I will support the right to self-custody to the nation's 50 million crypto holders. I say this with your vote. I will keep Elizabeth Warren and her goons away from your Bitcoin. And I will never allow the creation of a central bank digital currency.
Interesting. And before I sort of praise two things he said there that I really liked. First of all, Elizabeth Warren and her goons. What a great statement. Keeping them away from your Bitcoin. Hopefully he also has broader ramifications, and he's collected funds actually and donations, I think, in Ethereum as well. And he's launched NFTs and such. And also never allowing a CBDC. Now we've looked at how Ripple as a company may become kind of like a unicorn-esque stock, and they'll use XRP in the kind of ensuring that the United States remains kind of at the head of the dollar and the issuance of it in digital form. Right now it's Tether, and I think that's a big no-no. Also, people say, okay, well, Trump's kind of playing to this whole crypto thing. All of them are, actually including probably Biden's campaign. People were very shocked in regards to the shift regulatory that we've seen from the SEC. And that is, I believe, coming from pressures from the Biden administration. They don't want to look, and they know crypto. What did Trump say? They're 50 million crypto holders. That's a large portion of people that they don't want to piss off. This is the political game. It's interesting. This is just some fundamental stuff that perhaps gives a little bit more of a bullish outlook on the cryptocurrency space. Before we dive into the cryptocurrency space, and we'll be looking at Bitcoin, Total 2, and 3 top 10 crypto indexes or large cap crypto indexes, and I'll be showing you what they're showing me. Remember, we're already bullish on the cryptocurrency charts. We're already bullish on our macro environment. We fit it all together. If you haven't already taken that step and become a Patreon, guys, do check it out. Join for a month. Go and watch last night's meeting where I break everything down, including Bitcoin dominance and a number of reasons why it looks likely to roll, what that means for us. Of course, you'll get my portfolio and everything. Join for a month. It's not for you. Cancel your subscription. We only want people there that want to be there. We've got an amazing retention rate. We don't lose people, and the spots are filling up very quickly. But we'll be looking at the top 10 crypto index funds, or some of them. Let's just start with a little bit of macro. And today we have news. The time is ripe to cut interest rates next week. So what? Next week? European Central Bank's Ren says Olli Rehn and Philip Lane became the latest figures at the European Central Bank to indicate that an interest rate cut next week is practically a done deal. Next week is June, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. The Fed, why is this relevant? We'll break it down. We'll look at the Fed. We'll look at what that means for the dollar. We'll look at what that means for risk, and then we'll sort of throw in everything. And if you've not already subscribed to the channel, again, what are you doing? So the European Central Bank is expected to move sooner than the US Federal Reserve, which usually leads the way in monetary decision. It does indeed. We think the ECB and the Fed rate cut cycle will differ a lot, Bank of America economist said. So why is this relevant? Okay, because it means that central banks are now at a stage where they're cutting. And we knew that that was going to be the case. And we'll talk about Standard Economic in just a second and why he pivoted from a large cap to smaller caps, which don't do well in uncertain environments. So that suggests an element of certainty coming back to the markets. That's likely going to be in the form of cuts, or certainly a clear direction for monetary policy, which is why assets have been rallying as well as they have thus far. So what are the repercussions for us in crypto and the broader world? Let's just start there. So ECB cutting rates. Remember, I told you about that argument I had with a mortgage broker. He's actually a good friend of mine. He's been broking mortgages for a long time, and tying people into these contracts, which, you know, is what it is. I had an argument with him where he basically was saying that you should fix your mortgage right now. And I'm saying, why the hell would you do that when they're about to bring interest rates down? And he goes, well, you don't know they're going to do that. And my reply to him was, well, I'm basing my opinions on what on technical analysis, on kind of economic data. You're basing it on what? Just not knowing and headlines. And we'll always be fundamental analyzers and sort of people that follow along with the news as technical analyzers. So this is in the dollar green, the Fed funds rate, and this is the dollar index, so the strength of the US dollar. Now, we know the relationship between the dollar, the Dixie, and assets. Dollar up, assets down. It leans on assets. Dollar down, assets up. And even this recent rally has been perfectly coupled with a dollar rolling over. My broader view on the dollar is that it comes down to the lower end of this channel that you've been in since 2008. So we don't just have views on crypto, we have views on everything. And when they all walk, talk, and quack like a duck, you're having duck for dinner. So if the ECB are cutting, the Fed I don't think are too much farther off. When rates come down, that typically leads the Dixie and the strength of it. Of course, yields are a big barometer for that. So this is the 2-year yields and the Fed funds rate. You've got bearish divergences showing up. Also, the 10-year and the Fed funds rate are very correlated, but also the 10-year and probably more so the Dixie. And let's just find that. And we know what the let's make sure the Dixie's on log here and get rid of the RSI. We know what the sort of direction of things really is. We know what I meant to say there was we know what the effect of a weak dollar is going to do for assets. It's going to see them do well. There is we've not really spoken about this publicly. I have spoken about it on Patreon. $7 trillion in money funds. And when those yields come down, like we've been saying, that we haven't been in the higher rates camp or the apocalyptic camp for a long time. 2022 we were. Since then we haven't been. When that comes down, that sees that money hunt for yield. And that's going to take place in regards to the stock market, most likely. Because the cost of capital gets very, very expensive. And this is why I asked people a question on a video a couple of days ago. Why is Stan Druckenmiller, billionaire Stan Druckenmiller, a bit of a, I'm a really fan of Stan's work. He's basically provided a positive return for 30 years straight. Why is somebody like him going from Nvidia, $2.5 trillion stock, into smaller cap stocks? What is that suggestive of? It's suggestive of the environment that we're being in, being a lot more of a certain one, being a lot more of those Russell 200, 2000 stocks are a lot more interest rate sensitive. We're also bullish on housing. And Bitcoin and crypto, I'm afraid, ladies and gentlemen, whether you like it or not, is going to be the fastest horse in that race. So we've looked at a number of things. When you couple that with technically what we're looking at for Bitcoin, we still have that higher target. It's just making its way to it. When we're looking at total 2, people are laughing at me about this right shoulder forming. Now look at it. And we will get to $3.8 trillion. And then when we look at crypto top 10 index funds, so this is a crypto basket served by 21 shares, I'm bullish on this. And there's bullish structure there. When we look at Bitwise, our first target for Bitwise has been nearly met. When we look at Bitwise top 10 crypto index fund, again, what are we seeing? A potential 3x and 10x in terms of price. Grayscale's digital large cap fund also saying a similar thing. Our smaller target was made. When it walks, talks, and quacks like a duck, you're having duck for dinner. This is going to be a great environment, I believe, for assets. Do your own research. Come up with your own opinion. But it's very simple. If you can come up with a reason to not be in the markets right now, let me know in the comment section, because you might be looking at something that I'm not. Given everything that we analyze here at the channel and everything that we look at, and there's lots of things we can't possibly cover everything in one daily market update. Given everything that we look at, it's an amazing kind of outlook that we've got for assets. And I will do a video on how long I think this bull market's going to go on for, based on prior cycles, based on PMI cycles and other things at a later date. We've got a great time ahead of us, and I'm unbelievably honored and privileged to be in this position where we have as big a following as we do. With a channel at 70,000, nearly 80,000 subscribers, the viewers that we get on our daily market updates alone compete with channels in the hundreds of thousands. And this is going to be a big year for all of you guys, hopefully, for the channel, for the crypto space. And I'm honored to be on this journey with each and every one of you. So that's it from me, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed presenting it. I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Thanks all for watching. See you in the next.